to KCR College Radio on Cox 956, Time Warner 957, and online at kcr.sdsu.edu, and online as well on the TuneIn Radio app on the iPhone, iPod Touch, and Android devices. Well, here we are. Time to start my last stop here at KCR. Welcome to the Indie Invasion. My name is Joe Garcia, hosting the next hour or so. This also marks the last hour I'll be here at KCR, as I'm graduating next week after I take my finals, hopefully. But we'll make this a good show. We'll play some songs. I'll take a look back at the end, and we'll see what happens. I keep saying that, but I don't know what's going to happen. Anyways, let's start with a song that is really one of my favorites. It just became my favorite like this semester. I think I played it once before, but it's one of those songs that just like you want to keep playing because it's really good. I think I played it in front of my iPod like 25 times. Here now from the album More Than Just a Dream, here are Fits and the Tantrums with The Walker.
And that was from Fits and the Tantrums, the song The Walker from the album More Than Just a Dream. Anyways, this time we're going to do something a little different. Now, of course, I mostly talked about on the show about movies, TVs, information, but this week, I'm not going to do that. Instead, we're going to just play music, and then at the end, I'll just briefly talk about me taking a look back here at the station. But I will occasionally just point out some songs that I really enjoyed. Now, most of these songs, almost all of these songs, maybe except for one or two, have been previously played here on my show in one of the many time slots. So, here's the thing. I've been here for almost for more than a few years, and I've been on different times, in either 1 or 2 hours. But here are some of them which I've played in the past. From the album California 37, here is Train with the song 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. And that was from Train, the song 50 Ways to Say Goodbye, from the album California 37. Next up here, from the Beatles, here's the song Hello Goodbye, from the album Magical Mystery Tour. And that was from the Beatles, the song Hello Goodbye, from the album Magical Mystery Tour. Our next song here is one that was really a good choice to play, because it did remind me of some things. For the most part, during this past weekend, and I've been watching a lot of finales online, just on YouTube, random snippets from finales, from Newhart, Roseanne, and even some talk shows to see how I would sign off. But this song fits, makes sense. From the album Songs from the West Coast, here's Elton John with This Train Don't Stop There Anymore. And that was This Train Don't Stop There Anymore, Elton John, in the album Songs from the West Coast. Our next song here has something to do with something that I should have really finished, and I never did. For most of you who have been listening to my show for a long time, you probably remember there was a time, I think back a year ago or so, a year and a half ago, where I decided to just play music from the James Bond soundtracks, as in simply random songs or just theme songs from the Bond movies. And I did that for a while, often doing a little review with a song. I would just review the film and then play the theme song. And admittedly, I never got around to finishing it, mostly because at the time I was really limited on the movies I had, and then I had all the Bond films, and because for the most part it was really difficult to find them. I mean, it wasn't until I think a few months ago where I finally completed a collection, and again, I really regret not being able to finish that. I wanted to really finish that and just have all the Bond music played, but unfortunately we never were able to do that. Then maybe one of these days, wherever I go, I may be able to do that. But now, here's a song from one of my favorite Bond films, and this one is very just I watched it and I liked it. And it's probably one of the more better Bond songs. From the album Best of Bond, James Bond 50th Anniversary Collection, here is, from the movie The Spy Who Loved Me, Nobody Does It Better, played by Carly Simon. And that was from Carly Simon, the song Nobody Does It Better, from the James Bond 50th Anniversary Collection, Best of Bond, James Bond. That's from the movie The Spy Who Loved Me, which I will highly recommend. It's one of the better Bond films and Roger Moore's best film. As for my favorite Bond film, that would be GoldenEye. And not just for the game itself, it's a good movie. Anyways, our next song here is one I think I played before, but I'm not sure. This song reminds me of something that I'll talk about later. But This song is a song that just reminds me of a time uh, of a fun trip with a few people, and this song is just like the only song they liked, and it just reminded me of that. But so here now from the album X and Y, here's Coldplay with "Fix You," and that was from Coldplay, from the album X and Y, the song "Fix You." Anyways, let's go to our next song here. Our next song here is one that I actually played way back during my first semester here. And one that I think I'll play once afterwards, I don't know when. But it's a song that it's one of the few classics that I can think of playing. And it's one I often hear when I'm back home. And it just reminds me of home. Well, sort of. I mean, the song is something else, but still. From the album Cat Stevens' Greatest Hits, here's Cat Stevens with the song Father and Son. Cat Stevens from the album Cat Stevens' Greatest Hits, the song Father and Son. Anyways, I know it might sound a little, the music might sound a little sad today, but I'm just trying to choose what I consider me my favorite songs and not sound very sad myself. I mean, once again, this is like my last show here at KCR for those who are just tuning in. And for me, it's going to be like, sing great. But I'll save that for the end of the show, because I have a really good speech I want to say. But anyways, let's go here to our next song here from Bellanova. Here's the song No Me Voy a Morir. And that was from Bellanova, the song No Me Voy a Morir. Once again, another one of my favorite songs from their bands. But anyways, we now go here to our next song here. We have like around 20 more minutes. And I don't know what just happened during the song. I know, look, it dropped. I don't know what happened there. I think it was some kind of alarm. So, anyways, hopefully it won't happen again. But anyways, here now from Britney Spears on the album Grace It's My Prerogative. Here is the song Lucky. And that was Britney Spears with her song Lucky from the album Grace It's My Prerogative. And that's one of my favorite Britney Spears songs. And I actually remember watching all these years ago the making of from MTV, back when they had making of videos, and it's just one of my favorite Britney Spears songs. And it just basically says that I'm very lucky to be here. This song here, next song, is one that I actually considered not playing, but then I decided to play it. In fact, I even considered promoting today's show with saying we have over more than 100 artists performing, which would sound ridiculous considering you can't put 100 songs in an hour, unless you're really good at it, or if you're that DJ. But anyways, our next song here, Try the Next Best Thing. Now, many of you might remember a few years ago as the song We Are the World 25 for Haiti. It's considered many one of the worst songs ever. I liked it. Here now from the artist for Haiti, We Are the World 25 for Haiti. Try to find all the guests. Here it is. And that was We Are the World 25 for Haiti from Artists for Haiti. There's so many artists, I just can't name them all within this time. Anyways, before we get to our last song, I have a little speech to say for my last show here. I have here in my hands my high school yearbook from when I graduated from my old high school, Clark School Mission. In the yearbook, aside from the usual autographs that I have here, like thank you, take care, and all this, and all the others, there are two things that I want that stand out to me and still work and are still memorable to this day. The first comes from the senior section. Like, I don't know if this was a thing that many did, but in my high school they did this, and there's a section here that says like who I am, the photo, how long I was to school, and other information, such as I was there for like 13 years, considering I was there for kindergarten, elementary, and high school. And before you ask about middle school, I did not have a middle school. Middle school was high school. But anyways, the one thing that really stands out here is that on wants to be. Now, there's a lot of things that people want to be when they graduate from high school, and they often do it. Mine was, here's this, wants to be journalist. All these years later, and after all the class I've taken, I still would like to be a journalist. Another thing I noticed was a message written by my class sponsor, who would be the teacher in charge of the students of a generation. And it's a letter from my sponsor, Mr. Robinson. In his message, there are two things that really stand out. That never forget that success is more than a destination. It's a journey. And how we should know that God is always with us and will take us to go places you have never even dreamed of. And that last quotation is just simply reminds me of this, because I honestly never thought I would be hosting my own show here in KCR, broadcasting and playing my own music. During this time, I've also been able to talk about what I like, such as TV, film, and sports. And as someone who wants to be a journalist, I often chose to talk about current events, such as whenever a celebrity passed away, or even last week with the Clippers scandal. This show has aired on various days, on various times, in either 1 or 2 hour shows. And it's been a lot. I mean, I've gone to different shows, like, once it's just like my own show with no title, then it was the Shuffle with Joel Garcia, and now it's the Indie Invasion. There are so many people to thank, and if I forget anyone, I apologize. From KCR, not only you, the listeners, but to also the three of the great general managers I worked under, because I worked with a lot of general managers, like Andrew, Lincoln, and Matthew, as well as other people here like Scott and Alex. And as for my friends, there are also many, too many to say, like Ricardo, Carla, Amber, Alejandro, Victor, Jose, Kevin, Frank, Angel, Michael, Kenneth, Manuel, Gerardo, and just too many others to say. But most of all, the biggest thank you is to my family, including my mom, my dad, and my brothers, who have helped and motivated me to do this show successfully and just be happy doing the show. There are many other people I could thank, and I probably forgot their names or forgotten their names, and I really do want to say, like, thank you to everyone for letting me do this show. We'll play one more song. There's one more song left to play. Here now from the album Elvis 75. Here's Elvis Presley with If I Can Dream. And that was Elvis Presley with the song If I Can Dream from the album Elvis 75. We have a minute left, but once again, thank you to everyone, and to those who were able to listen to my show, moving from different days, times, hours, events, situations. As I begin to take my finals, I don't know what I'll do next, but I hope it will be successful, and I hope you will all be able to see wherever I go, whether it be on radio, television, newspaper, or even the internet. You can follow me online on Twitter at Mr. Joel Garcia 9. That's Mr. Joel Garcia and the number 9. Once again, Mr. Joel Garcia 9. In the past, I have signed off with This Is KCR, which is like the NPR one, sort of, but in a more satirical way. But for now, all I will say is, go Padres, go Chargers, go Aztecs, and thank you very much, and goodbye.